Good evening, and welcome to Dan Bain's Sleepy Time Mumbles, a podcast you can miss. I'm Dan Bain, and every episode I improvise a low-stakes podcast for you to fall asleep to. Before I begin this month's episode, I'd like to apologize for some technical errors that plagued, that's right, plagued my last release. I thought I was doing something clever, but turns out I was being too clever and was actually had gone full circle and was not clever, but rather foolish. Anyway, what happened is you may not have been automatically fed your last episode. So, if that were that the case, make sure to just click through to your pod catcher of choice and make sure there isn't an episode just sitting there steeping, waiting for your eventual attention. That's the thing you can do. You could also rate and review the show if you want. You can subscribe to it if you want. You can follow me on social media or by signing up to a newsletter if you want. But all of that can wait. For now, put down your phones, turn off your screens, and close your eyes. Now it's time to be mumbled to sleep. Season 5, Episode 2. Your mind is a Metropolitan raven. Lie down, lay back, clear your mind, because you are no longer you. Your mind is releasing the tussle and tumult of the day. Imagine your mind not as it is, not as a bowl of noodles, electricity and Powerade. Imagine it instead. Visualize, if you will, your mind as a Metropolitan Corvid. That's right. Living in a city, your mind is a clever bird. You might be wondering, what type of Corvid is my mind? Is it a chuff from the genus Pyrocorax? Are you perhaps a chuff from the genus Pyrocorax? Perhaps an alpine chuff, or a red-billed chuff? No. Are you a treepie? You know, a hooded treepie, a racket-tailed treepie, an Andaman treepie, a Bornean treepie, a grey treepie, a collared treepie, a white-bellied treepie, a Sumatran treepie, a rufous treepie. Or could you perhaps be one of the genus Platysmurus, a Malayan black magpie, a Bornean black magpie, a ratchet-tailed treepie, maybe a common green magpie, in Indo-Chinese green magpie, a Javan green magpie, or a Bornean green magpie. Perhaps your mind is of the genus Urosissa, and maybe it is a Taiwan blue magpie, a red-billed blue magpie, a yellow-billed blue magpie, a Sri Lankan blue magpie, or even a white-winged magpie. These are all possible when we are discussing the type of Corvid your brain might be. It also could be an old world jay, or one of its close relatives. For example, a Eurasian jay, a black-headed jay, Lidith's jay, Xinyang ground jay, Mongolian ground jay, Turkestan ground jay, Iranian ground jay, Piapiak or Streseman's bush crow. That doesn't even begin to consider the nutcrackers. Spotted nutcracker, cashmere nutcracker, Clark's nutcracker. Now let's talk Holarctic magpies, black-billed magpie, yellow-billed magpie, Eurasian magpie, Korean magpie, azure-winged magpie, Iberian magpie. Now, all of these aforementioned corvids are all well and good, but realistically, it's very likely that your mind is a true crow. And by that I mean crows, ravens, jackdaws, and rooks. The true crows. What kind could it be? A little crow, Australian raven, Bismarck crow, brown-headed crow, Bougainville crow, little raven, New Caledonian crow, Turesian crow, forest raven, relict raven, grey crow, long-billed crow, white-billed crow, alala, aka Hawaiian crow, Mariana crow, Daurian jackdaw, slender-billed crow, Palawan crow, Flores crow, large-billed crow, eastern jungle crow, house crow, collared crow, piping crow, Bangai crow, hooded crow, Mesopotamian crow, carrion crow, eastern carrion crow, rook, western jackdaw, fan-tailed raven, brown raven, pied raven, now extinct, American crow, northwestern crow, Chihuahuan crow. No, I over anticipated there. Chihuahuan raven. Tamaulipas crow, Jamaican crow, white-necked crow, Cuban crow, fish crow, palm crow, Sinaloa crow, western raven, white-necked raven, pied crow, Cape crow, thick-billed raven, Somali crow, aka dwarf raven. Are there more? Yes, because it would be irresponsible, whilst giving these options, to neglect jays, which are part of the Corvid family. From the genus Perisaurus, Canada jay, Siberia jay, Sichuan jay. Now, of course, the New World jays, California scrub jay, Island scrub jay, Woodhouse's scrub jay, Florida scrub jay, Mexican jay, transvolcanic jay, unicolored jay, black-throated magpie jay, for those of you who need to be in multiple categories. Also, white-throated magpie jay, blue jay, Stella's jay, black-chested jay, purplish-backed jay. Now, I'm just going to pause for a moment and suggest that purplish-backed jay is some real phoning it in botanic naturalism. When you're naming flora and fauna, you got a responsibility, and one of those things is to say, is that purple or is it a different colour? I don't think you should be able to say, it's purplish, and that's its name. Azure jay, cayenne jay, plush-crested jay, curl-crested jay, purplish jay, white-naped jay, tufted jay, azure-naped jay, bushy-crested jay, white-tailed jay, San Blas, jay, violaceous jay, green jay, Inca jay, Yucatan jay, brown jay, silvery throated jay, black collared jay, is your hooded jay, white-throated jay, dwarf jay, beautiful jay, black-throated jay, turquoise jay, white-collared jay, pinion jay. That's every Corvid, and your mind is definitely one of them. You know these birds. They're the birds that have an article about them because they've worked out how to use tools, because they can solve a rudimentary puzzle, because they remember you generations later. You know these stories about these smart birds, these birds that are smarter than a stupid child. How embarrassing to be a child and get beaten in a test by a bird. Mortifying. Your mind is one of these birds, soaring over city streets on the updrafts from alleys. Everything is no effort as the rising heat of the city enables you to spread your wings and glide as you please until you see on a rooftop something shiny. It could be a coin, it could be a safety pin, it could be a piece of lead flashing dislodged from the roof. It could be a button. It could be a badge. It could be a ring. Whichever so way it is, you see it with your clever little eyes, like sparking little beads, and you glide to a halt, and you pick it up, and you take it back to your nest. And in the nest, that is where you have kept all your treasures. The ring pull from a beer can, a needle, a sparkler, half burnt, but then gone out before completion. A walnut, a fishhook. These are your treasures. And every morning you lay them out before yourself, itemized. These are the things that that live in my nest. Only these are important. Everything else can go. There is no lingering worry about the cat that lives down the alley when you are a Corvid looking at your treasures, looking at the bead that fell off a bracelet that you picked up 2 moons ago. No one cares about the man that bangs the pan loudly when you've got the safety pin. You focus on the things that you have, the past, the present, the future. All of these are irrelevant because they are all out of your control. What is in control is the order of things inside the nest. You have some old feathers, and although they aren't precious to you, they remind you of times gone by, because they remind you of what you were, not of things done to you or things lost. And this is who I was. The Corvid brain accepts it as such. C'est tout. C'est fini. The crow sometimes speaks French because it's sophisticated like that. Bonjour, je suis un oiseau noir. Ces sont intelligents, très intelligents. Oui, says the crow. It's in the Pearl League on Duolingo. Your mind is only concentrating on things that matter, on the true, inescapable treasures of your life. The rest is neglected. Your mind is a Metropolitan Corvid. There was Season 5, Episode 2 of Sleepy Time Mumbles. Your mind is a crow in the city. Sleepy Time Mumbles is created and presented by me, Dan Bain, and is produced by Noose Octopus theatre, etc. You can follow the show if you like. There are links in the show notes. But either way, whether you do or not, I'll see you next time. Good night. Sleep tight.